Okay, I'm not sure I've seen a bigger backfire in my entire life. And given the fact that I'm talking about Rudy Giuliani here, and given the sheer number of times that his plans have backfired, you know that's really saying something. So Rudy Giuliani was having his 80th birthday party, and during the party opted to taunt the Arizona Attorney General regarding the Arizona indictment for his involvement in a plot to overturn the 2020 election on Trump's behalf. He hadn't yet been served legal notice, and so he took to Twitter during the party, writing, "If Arizona authorities can't find me by tomorrow morning, 1, they must dismiss the indictment, 2, they must concede they can't count votes." Well, I think you can tell where this one is going. Let's skip ahead to this tweet, a quote tweet from Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays. Quote, "The final defendant was served moments ago. At Rudy Giuliani, nobody is above the law." And of course, Giuliani deleted his original tweet, but not to worry, because AG Mays posted a screenshot so that everyone could see Rudy's big fat L, immortalized on the internet forever. I'm sorry, but I just have to summarize what happened here because it's just that good. Giuliani, obviously feeling himself, taunted the Arizona Attorney General because he was that certain he wouldn't be served with a public post on Twitter. He was then served within the hour at his own birthday party. The Arizona AG then humiliated him online for the rest of the internet to enjoy. He deleted his own tweet, and then she posted a screenshot of what he deleted. Who could have guessed that Rudy Giuliani would look back at the days of hair dye streaming down his face at a Four Seasons Total Landscaping parking lot and actually be nostalgic for a time less humiliating than right now? Here's how it went down. Giuliani was in Palm Beach, Florida on Friday night when he was reportedly intercepted outside of the party at the home of top Republican consultant Caroline Wren by 2 officials from the Arizona Attorney General's office who served Giuliani with a legal notice of his indictment around 11 p.m. According to the New York Post, while most of the 200 guests had already departed, some of those who remained began screaming, including one woman who cried as Giuliani was handed the papers. According to Caroline Wren, again whose home they were celebrating at, quote, "While crime in Arizona is at an all-time high, the Arizona AG's office felt it was a good use of resources to send multiple agents across the country to storm an 80th birthday party like it was Normandy." Now, first of all, crime has actually plummeted in Arizona. Phoenix saw a staggering 40% drop in crime compared with just last year, one of the highest declines of any major city in America. So no, crime is not at an all-time high, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised that someone that closely aligned with Rudy Giuliani would be that willing to serve up such a bald-faced lie. Second of all, even if crime was at an all-time high, which again, it's not, but bear with me here, Giuliani is also a criminal. This is crime. This is exactly what the Arizona Attorney General should be doing. Just because Rudy waves around an American flag and leans on his past as a prosecutor does not excuse the fact that he is a criminal now. In fact, if anything, it should highlight his criminality because he knows better. Rudy Giuliani has become the exact kind of scumbag that he himself used to prosecute all those years ago. So no, Rudy doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. If anything, as a former prosecutor, he should know better. I spoke with my Legal Breakdown co-host Glenn Kirshner about this Arizona indictment that Giuliani will now have to contend with, and here's what he had to say.
Some of the differences involve, in Georgia, it is kind of this multi-tentacled beast because it involves not only fake electors, it involves Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis going to the Georgia state legislature and lying to them in furtherance of the criminal scheme to try to overturn the Georgia election results. It involves, as you say, getting into or obtaining access to Coffee County voting machines that these folks like Sidney Powell had absolutely no right to access. Of course, it involves that infamous call by Donald Trump talking like a mob boss, just find me 11,780 votes that fell off the back of a truck and declare me the winner. I mean, if that's not mob speak, I made up the back of the truck thing, but that was for the mob reference. But it's this multi-tentacled beast down in Georgia involving 19 co-defendants. And I think there are about a dozen defendants indicted out in Arizona. It feels like a somewhat more targeted case, primarily surrounding or involving the fake elector scheme. And that's why we have the conspiracy and the fraud and the forgery charges for example, forging, signing these fake elector certificates. So slightly more targeted, but still a big case with lots of co-defendants.
And what's worse, this may not even be the only indictment on this same crime that Rudy will have to deal with. Does the fact that we have this relatively late indictment in Arizona suggest that we could see cases in other states?
There is no reason we shouldn't see cases in other states. I'm going to say maybe with the exception of Pennsylvania, only because the fake electors sort of built in a little bit of an escape hatch, I believe, by saying, these certificates should only be viewed as legitimate in the event there's a successful election challenge.
Right.
I'm kind of taking liberties there, but they built in a little bit of a safety cushion so it wasn't as easy to hold them criminally accountable in Pennsylvania. But in the other battleground states, we could very well still see additional prosecutions for what went on in those states.
And remember, this Arizona indictment is only the latest in a laundry list of legal issues that Giuliani is contending with right now. Still pending is the lawsuit against him by former employee Noel Dunphy for his alleged sexual harassment. Also still pending are lawsuits against him by Smartmatic and Dominion Voting Systems, with the latter having settled with Fox for a record $787 million, which I'm sure doesn't exactly inspire confidence that Giuliani will be able to slither away from that one unscathed. He owes $148 million from a defamation judgment payable to Georgia election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, along with another $3 million owed to law firms that represented him in court, and $1 million owed in unpaid taxes to the government. I should note that Giuliani's defamation ruling is not dischargeable in bankruptcy, so him filing for Chapter 11 will have no bearing on his responsibility to pay what he owes. Giuliani's currently in the process of selling his Manhattan property to satisfy his creditors, who are also demanding that he take out homeowners insurance for both residences, and now creditors are seeking to force Giuliani to sell his $3.5 million Florida condo to pay off his debts. So yeah, not great on the Giuliani front. And I think it's important to note one more point, if only because there may be some folks out there who take pity on Giuliani given his advanced age. Keep in mind that what Freeman and Moss were seeking was the humanity that Giuliani so easily, casually stripped them of. They only ever just wanted the nightmare that he and Trump put them through to end, and that's something that they made abundantly clear in the aftermath of the trial.
The lies Rudy Giuliani told about me and my mommy after the 2020 presidential election have changed our lives, and the past few years has been devastating. The flame that Giuliani lit with those lies and passed to so many others to keep that flame blazing changed every aspect of our lives. Our homes, our family, our work, our sense of safety, our mental health, and we're still working to rebuild. As we move forward and continue to seek justice, our greatest wish is that no one, no election worker or voter or school board member or anyone else ever experiences anything like what we went through. You all matter and you are all important.
Money will never solve all of my problems. I can never move back into the house that I called home. I will always have to be careful about where I go and who I choose to share my name with. I miss my home, I miss my neighbors, and I miss my name.
If you can't see the extent to which Giuliani has destroyed their lives, then you're not paying attention. So lest you spend even a single moment taking pity on this 80-year-old con man, remember that he not only brought it upon himself, but given his lifetime of prosecuting people just like him, he should absolutely know better. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.